in the beginning. Before the church, before the law, before the fall. Before everything there was God. Our identity, our story, even our purpose. Everything has to start somewhere. And in the beginning, God.
Your actions can affect the generations that follow you. And that's staggering. Especially for those of us that are on the upward side of the scale, and we have not just kids, but we have grandkids. And, we understand that. What we do has an impact on those who follow us. This is how, the world got as depraved as it was. It didn't just all of a sudden happen, it was a gradual
generation to generation
from,
to generation,
from one generation to another. And it just got worse and worse and worse. What one generation, considers okay, the next embraces, and the next thinks is just normal. We see
and
this,
then promote it.
We see this across the board in our culture today. We were talking in Genesis about the value of life and, all that. What started off as choice for a woman has now, gone to the point of, a child, it being considered at least, where children can determine whether their life is worth living or not. That's a long ways from one to the other. And, in a different project that I'm working on, I talk about how does a society get from one of those places to the other, and how it is just a slow change of our language, and then how we approach things. But
there's just as example, there's language that's used today that a generation ago would set people back. It would just cause them to gasp a little bit. But now it's just normal language and just talking about that. So you can see how the actions of one generation, as you said, then is accepted by the next, and then it just progresses from there.
One of the things that I think is important for us to note and to pay attention when we're looking at Noah in particular is, not only should we pay attention when God speaks, but God can use ordinary people to do extraordinary things if we just simply walk by faith. What happens with Noah is it says, and Noah did according to all that the Lord had commanded him. That's something else that kind of repeats itself throughout this account. Now, Noah builds an ark that will hold all of these animals in the middle of a place where it doesn't rain.
It's never rained before, has it?
Not that
From what we understand reading the
Bible. And again, I haven't, dove into all the specifics and into the details of all that. But what I understand, yes, it hasn't rained here, and the guy was nuts.
Well, that's what everybody thought about him.
Absolutely.
Because how long did it take him to build that ark?
Wouldn't you think that the guy was crazy? My neighbor, you wouldn't believe what this guy is doing, in his spare time. He's essentially made fun of by all of his neighbors and everybody that's around. But here's the thing: when God speaks, too often in our modern, and I would say modern evangelical world, we have bought the idea of democracy so much that we think that God is governed by the rule of the many.
So we get a vote?
So we get a vote. And
in God's plans, right?
Were we, our modern day church, in the days of Noah, we'd have voted and we'd have said, Noah, you're nuts. God's not going to do this. He just doesn't do things this way.
The beginning matters. Knowing who God is and what he's done, knowing where we come from, helps us understand where he is leading us.